Episode 198. Are these comics going to make good film and television shows? We have Rogue in the Savage Land, and then we have Green Lantern, Fractured Spectrum #1. Let's talk about them right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I am your host, Frank Zanca. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, if you're going to be around on Friday the 17th, this is 2025, so if you're watching this a year from now, you missed it. We are doing an interview with Jeremy Adams, which we are going to be reviewing his Green Lantern today. Of course, he's writing Aquaman as well. Flash Gordon, he used to write The Flash too. He did Super Sons, which the animated. He's an amazing writer, I think, as everybody knows. But anyway, I've known him since I was back in LA, and after Aquaman came out, as everybody knows, I'm a big Aquaman fan, so I asked him to come on to my show. So we're going to be doing that on Friday at 8 p.m. That would be Eastern Standard and 5 p.m. Pacific. But we're going to talk about writing. We're going to be talking about all that stuff. I have a couple other indie writers on, and we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff. So if you're interested, come out and join us. It's going to be great. But yeah, let's jump into Rogue real quick. So I'm a fan of Rogue, and I'm a fan of the Claremont stuff in the 80s. I was a big fan of all. That's probably the time I really liked X-Men. Was back. I think that was everybody. Everybody was a fan. It's kind of like Byrne's run for Fantastic Four, back in the late 70s. X-Men was at its peak during the Claremont run back in the 80s. And this is trying to pick up from there, because I think since X-Men's not really working anymore, I think they're trying to find nostalgia to jump into, and that's what's going on here. And this is by Tim Seeley. The artwork's okay. I wouldn't say the artwork is good. It's just average. So, and I don't understand why. That's Miss Marvel. That's not even Captain Marvel. That's Carol Danvers with Rogue, but she's in blue. Her costume was black. Dude. But anyway, it talks about going through the what's the name of the crystal? The Siege Perilous. And she ends up going into the Savage Land, and I kind of liked some of the inner dialogue here. I thought the writing on it was pretty good. There was one in particular that I really liked the thing, but I don't know. I would love to read it, but I don't know where it was exactly. But anyway, so she starts out with her clothes like this, and she says that the Savage Land is just hell on your clothes, so she ends up pretty much, the loincloth situation. But again, I thought the inner dialogue was pretty well written in here. And then she's running great. She has no powers at this point. And that's why she ends up looking like that. And I don't know how the boots got ripped like that, and she still maintained her gloves. But if she has no powers, there's no reason for the gloves, right? We have her just spending time and saying, don't sleep on the ground, don't sleep in the trees, and she gets lonely, and because she's taken powers from all these people in the past, like a piece of their mind stays with her, so she ends up, speaking to her own head, I guess, and imagining them. I don't know who the guy is there. I don't know if that's supposed to be Bobby Drake. I don't know. But everybody else I recognize, but I don't recognize that dude. Unless that's her first boyfriend. I don't know. Because I thought she ended up killing him, or pretty close to it. So anyway, we see her get, hearing these moans and things like that. And we have these creatures that pass by her cave where she's living or whatever else, and she accidentally trips, of course, and they're alerted to her, but they just walk on by, and she says maybe because of all the stuff I've done that I'm actually in hell. And then we got this really weird page of Miss Marvel. I don't know. And then Magneto just shows up out of the blue. Okay. I don't know how all that happened, but yeah. So he's there with her now, and then he's got all these screws and nails and stuff like that he's ready to throw with his powers. And then Kazar's Sabretooth shows up, but she's like, no, that's Kazar's pet. Don't kill him. So I guess that Kazar's in trouble, and the Sabretooth came looking for help. So they go marching out, and finally Magneto's like, all right, I'm coming. I thought that was pretty funny. But anyway, he's got some kind of a problem because his nose is bleeding. Again, I don't really understand it. What's going on? And then you have Kazar, who is captured, and he's like, I know it can't be like the river folk or whatever else. And he's like, it is us, and, we're not going that far in, blah, blah, blah. And they're literally, marching him along as a sacrifice or whatever. And then we have these other people. Now, she's been there for a while, and she never noticed this other whole civilization that's there. I don't know. I don't even know who that character is. Of course, it mentions it. Well, what's her name? Priestess Zaldane. I don't know. I'm very confused by all of it, and that's it. That's all that happens. So, I won't be continuing it. It's not that good. It's no hook. Just going to save Kazar is no hook, and it just wasted all this time. I wouldn't say wasted, but it definitely could have been condensed about her spending time there and stuff like that, because nothing really happens. It's all very generic. There's monkeys, and there's dinosaurs she's running for. It's stuff, it's nothing new. So there's nothing propelling the story until the saber-toothed tiger gets there, and everything else just feels extremely random. So anyway, I wasn't too impressed with it, and I don't think, obviously, it would make a good movie or TV show. There's nothing there. All right, so let's jump into Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern, A Fractured Spectrum. So this is a new jumping on point. I don't know why it's a completely separate issue than just doing the regular Green Lantern run. And I think it's because this one is gonna jump off into the Green Lantern Corps. I don't understand, too, why we need 2 Green Lantern books. I mean, whenever they have something that people are interested in, they have to have a spin-off. They just can't have one book. It's just really weird. So, like, the whole Tharos thing is already over. All of the power batteries are destroyed. I guess that we have the Guardians back now, although I have no idea how that happened. Not the original Guardians, they're new Guardians. So, yeah, there's just a whole bunch of stuff that he's trying to reset, basically. But we have this library. It's like an intergalactic library. And he ended up getting Carol back. But Carol's not in any of this anymore because she's stolen now by the Justice League, which I hate. I'm not even collecting it. Not that I hate the book. I didn't really give it a chance. But I hate the fact that she was introduced here and now she's gone in another book, of which I'm not collecting. I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it. But anyway, this is the guy she left at the altar, and he picked up this sorrow ring. I guess he self-created it with no power battery, no nothing. I don't really understand it. Sorry, Jeremy, but I'm not a fan of this character. I think he's silly. And anyway, so he's like, I want the Book of Oa. He's like, you can't have the Book of Oa. I want the Book of Oa. You cannot have it. Oh, yes, I am going to have it, whether you like it or not. Anyway, then we go back to Hal. Hal's just hanging out. And he gets contacted by Kilowog, who is pretty much back from the dead. He wasn't really dead. He became a Yellow Lantern, and he was mind controlled, whatever was going on with him. So anyway, he calls Hal back because, of course, Hal is shrugging off physical labor, I guess. So he's like, I don't know since when they have FTL, but the faster than light travel, but I guess they do. I guess it makes sense, but I thought that was, always the reason why they've traveled in ships is because, that's because Abin Sur, when he got the ring, he was in a ship, and the ship crashed. So, yeah, so I didn't know that Green Lanterns could go FTL, but I guess they can. I don't know. But anyway, he does literally a flyby. Pretty much he took it from Top Gun. And he's like, oh, those damn Green Lanterns, they're always messing with me. But they took the extra power battery that Hal had found on Earth, and I guess they're going to put it back on Oa. And I guess Jessica Cruz is now going to be leading or one of the emissaries on Oa. Okay. They're all kind of grouped up together, and the Amazo robot that helped them is now going to be the sentinel of the power battery. Because he's like, well, why are you putting it here? Anybody can find it here. And he's like, well, that's why we have you protecting it. Because he can't get that far away from it anyway, because it's basically powering him. I'm not sure how that works either, but okay, I'll buy that. So anyway, yeah, the artwork's okay. It's a little bit more cartoony style, but I'm okay with it. So she gives this, rousing speech. Oh, I'm giving a big old speech here that's not even going to be in Spanish. It's going to be in broken English. I don't know. Does she speak broken English? I don't even know. And we have the Sorrow guy attacks Guy. Poor Guy. But Guy speaks a little bit, or he acts a little bit out of character here, because he even says it himself. He's like, I'm not the brains of any operation. And I would agree with that. He's the brawn. He's the talker. He's not even the brawn, because Batman kicked his ass in one punch. But there's the new Guardians, and they're all wearing different symbols, which I found interesting. I don't really like the high boots on Jon Stewart. His boots were always shorter. It makes him look too girly, I think. So they go into Guy Gardner's house and they're like, what is this? It looks like a bomb in it. Well, it's the maid's day off, But he was doing an investigation? Really? Guy Gardner doing an investigation? And anyway, so we have him almost Mission Impossible-ing the thing to get the book. I don't know, man. But anyway, there's some kind of a crystal, and there's I guess each one now has their own book of Oa. But it looks like Sorrow has these spikes and killed the librarian. And I guess they're all going after him now. But see, the bottom says continued in Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps. Dude, we can't keep collecting 1 million books because DC decides that they're going to break everything off. I don't know. So I'm going to reserve on this one. Let's do the wrap-up. I'm going to reserve on this one because I don't know the story yet. I don't know what the story is yet. And I'm not a big fan of Sorrow. So we'll see if the character gets better. I don't know how he's existing without a ring. Don't know. Without a power battery. Where is his ring getting its power from? So I don't know. And then Rogue, no, it's just too generic. Yeah, I did nothing really grabbed me. All right. And before we leave, remember too that Jeremy Adams is going to be on the show on Friday, so join us if you can do that. Plus my own stuff. As you know, I'm a comic book writer myself. So that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow as well. This is my sci-fi series. This is a full 150-page graphic novel. Artwork is probably better than what's in those books. So, yeah, definitely better than G.I. Joe, that's for sure. But this is an adaptation of the first novel. There's 4 different novels. It's also on Audible. So I have male and female voices on that. Plus, this is my vampire mob set in 1950s Hollywood. The artwork is just as good in here, too. In fact, we're working on a fairy tale horror book right now. The artist is just sending me layouts. But this is a 48-page. I do sign them. I also have them in digital. So this is the first issue. It's basically True Blood meets The Godfather. This is my second issue. Whoops, wrong side. Second issue. And this is the Katana cover. This is the Maryland cover. You can see the Nosferatu in the back here. Pretty cool. This is the Were-Panther cover. I also have this in a nude version as well. If you'd like a copy, just let me know in the comments section or email me. This is the Samurai cover, and this is the Helene cover. Plus, I'm also hooked up with Moonstone Books. Moonstone is releasing a 89th anniversary Green Hornet anthology. This is not it. This is just one they've done in the past because they own the rights to it. And it's going to be hardcover. And one of the main writers is going to be Timothy Zahn, who created Thrawn for Star Wars. Also Kevin J. Anderson, who writes for Dune. I think he writes for Star Wars as well. And the cover art by Matt Wagner, who did Batman and Grendel. Anyway, it's going to be amazing. We have over 250 followers right now. We're going to be launching the Kickstarter in 2 weeks. It's going to have a lot of good stuff to it. We're going to have signatures on it. Just a lot of great stuff. Definitely click the link in the description below and get signed up for that, or go to greenhornetnoir.com and get notified about when we launch so that you can not miss any of the stuff that comes up. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Remember, give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. And also, if you can subscribe, please ring that bell, ding, ding, and get notified about when I do additional videos and reviews. We're putting out the reviews of Superman and Lois and the Wolfman. Skeleton Crew just went up. A whole bunch of stuff. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys on the next episode. All right. Bye-bye.